Hey everybody, it's Lance with Love to Hate Board Game Reviews, back again with another review video. And today I have for you the Abundance expansion to Earth from InsideUp Games. I want to thank InsideUp Games for sending me the Abundance expansion for Earth for the purposes of this video. And I'm going to be showing you everything that comes in this new expansion and talking about my thoughts about the different components along the way. Let's take an overhead view and I'm going to show you about this expansion. Alright, so here we go. The first thing I do want to say about this Abundance expansion, flipping it over here, is to show you that this is a prototype, that it's still a work in progress. This is not final. So maybe some of the artwork components and maybe even some of the rules might change once it's released from crowdfunding. That being said, check out the link down below in the description of this video to check out that campaign page to get all the details on this game. But also, I want you to know that everything that's inside of this box actually fits inside of the main box. I know that's really important to a lot of you out there. I wanted to make sure to say that up front at the top of this video. So we can go ahead and move this off to the side and crack open the base game here to show you about some of the contents that you're going to find inside this expansion. The first being these new overlays that are going to go on top of the game, the player boards. This is going to be that main board. Nothing changes with it. But the player boards, and I'll show you real quick that you do get a 6th player board that does fold. Yeah, you can play this game with 6 players now. That's another cool thing about this expansion. It opens up the ability to play with 6 players. And if you are going to play 6 players, you do have to incorporate all the cards that are within the Abundance expansion. You can't do it without them. You'll run out of cards. Which is hard to believe because there's a ton of cards in this game, but that's what the rulebook says. So you do have a 6th player that you can add to the game, but these overlays are actually going to lay on top of your previous boards from the base game, and they're going to cover up the player aid down here at the bottom because it's going to add in the new action that you can do in this game, the Germinate action, which we'll talk about that here in just a second. But it also has the new conversions that you can make in this game because there is a new component, seeds, and we'll talk about that as well. But I wanted to let you see about this new overlay that goes on top of the old player boards. The new player board comes with that already. As you can see, it's got those conversions on it, so that's great. So we'll go ahead and move those out of the way. That's one of the new additions from the expansion. We'll get all these boards out of the way. And there's our rule book, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty here of the components with this new expansion. So I have the upgraded components. That's the reason why I haven't punched out any of my punch board tokens there, because I've got the wooden components, and I don't need those old components. You do have a new score pad here because it's going to add in the new way that you can score points in this game. So if you're playing with the new expansion, you won't want to use the old score pad. You'll want to use the updated one. And you do get lots more sprout cubes, tree tokens, lots of wooden components that you're going to need playing with that 6th player. And so you can add them into the game. I like to, because I'm using the bags that come into my base game, and the bags aren't big enough to hold in all the components, all these wooden components from both the base game and the Abundance expansion. So I only add in what I feel like I'll need. I do put the rest inside the Abundance box, but most of the components are here in the box, and if I wanted to, I could fit them in here. I just didn't do that. But anyhow, you have lots of wooden components. And let's go with this next. So these are the seeds and leaf tokens. You already know about the leaf tokens from the base game. They're going to be the things out there that you put on that board tracking the in-game goals and making sure you achieve those in-game goals. Well, now you do have the 6th player color, which is going to be pink. This fuchsia color right here that you can see. And so that's your 6th player color. We'll go ahead and pull one of those out so you can get a better look at it on frame there. If I can get it out. There we go. So let you take a look at that player color there. And then you also have the seeds that we talked about just a minute ago. So these seeds are another resource in the game that you are going to be spending to do a special conversion action throughout the course of the game. I'm going to bring out one of those tile overlays to show you this again here. And it's going to show you this right here. I don't know if that's in focus for you all. There we go. So you can spend 1 seed to get 3 sprouts or 3 compost, 2 soil, 2 trees, I forget the action, what it's called, growths, yeah, that's what it's called, or 1 germinate. And so what the germinate action, it's going to look like that icon right there. The germinate action is really kind of interesting. It's going to allow you to name one of the scoring conditions on any card that you find throughout the course of the game, and you're just going to grab a chunk of cards from any one of the deck. And you'll flip that over, and starting with the first card that you see, if you find that scoring condition that you named, such as maybe something that that gives me more sprouts, for instance, then you get to claim that particular card. You get to add it to your hand. If it's not one that has what you named, then you keep going through all the cards until you find the first card that has what you named, and then you get to take that card and you discard all the other cards to the discard pile. So that's a really interesting thing that gets more cards cycled through the game, lets you to be able to get exactly what you're looking for, well, within theory, and hopefully add something of value to your hand. But it's an action that is going to cost you something, because these seeds are pretty powerful. As you saw, they can be a lot of different things. I mean, you can compost 3 cards. That's 3 victory points that you can get with one of these seeds. You also can gain seeds by spending some of your resources. So you can, let's see here, you can pay 4 sprouts to get a seed, or you can get rid of one of your leaves to get a seed. Now that's pretty, that's costly, right? Because those leaves are your in-game points, and so hopefully you're getting a lot of points with those leaves. So you're giving up the opportunity to get lots of points to just get one little seed, but you know, that seed might give you exactly what you need to get lots of points. I mean, 2 soil might be something that's pretty important to you when you're in a pinch right at a particular point in the game. Another thing that's really interesting with what this abundance expansion adds, you've got this 11-point overlay tile that's going to go over that center board that is awarding all the points in the game. Let me find where that board is real quick. It's the one that's going to have all of the in-game cards. Now, in the base game, it was 7 points, and you're going to put this overlay tile to make it be 11 points now. And you're going to play with that going forward with these components. So no longer do you only get 7 points if you're the first player to finish out your grid. You now get 11 points, putting one of your leaves there. So that's another new change, new addition. The rest of the changes with the Abundance game are going to be the cards. And I'm not going to be able to show you all of the cards. That's just would be ridiculously too much. But just know that they're going to add in a lot of the same stuff that you're already familiar with, the Earth game. But they're going to have, some of them are going to have that new Germinate action that I talked about earlier. And they're going to be marked with an A on them to signify that it's a part of the Abundance expansion. The cards that I have don't actually have that A on them. They just are notified as marked as prototype cards, as you can see down there. Maybe if I can get that in focus for you guys. Tells me that that is a part of the Abundance deck. But the cards that are really going to come in the finalized product will have a marked A on them to help you to know. If you ever wanted to separate the cards out from your base game, you can do that. But you do get normal cards, cards that go into the deck of playing cards, but you also have new island, new terrain, new climate cards that can really shake up how you start the game. New critter cards that your in-game goals. Lots of new things to add into this game that are going to just provide more replayability, more opportunities for you to get points with this one. Lots of things to like about this game. So let me get into my thoughts real quick on it. I should also say that this also has a new way to play the solo game that makes it a little more challenging because the AI player is going to be getting lots more points than they were in the base game. So if you thought that the base game solo mode was not challenging enough, this new expansion is going to add in some more difficulty to the AI for you that's going to make it a lot more challenging for you, and something I really enjoyed when I played against this one in the solo mode. But the game experience with Earth, just starting real quick about my thoughts on Earth, we got to preview it for InsideUp during the first campaign for the base game, and absolutely loved it. Fell in love with it from the beginning, said it was going to be a big game for 2023, I think is when it came out, and it was a big game. Really enjoyed it, have continued to play it, played it at conventions, just a great game all around. Now, this Abundance expansion, what does it add? Do I think it's a good expansion? I do think it's a good expansion because it doesn't add in a whole lot of new rules. It doesn't slow down the gameplay. Doesn't make it feel bloated and unnecessary. It adds in lots of extra cards. It adds in more scoring conditions, more ways to get points that allows me to have to expand my thinking about what I want to do on my turn, but at the same time gives me more options with those seeds. I can exchange those seeds for things and when I'm in a pinch, so it does feel like it gives me opportunities to make some things happen, which also kind of speeds up the engine building in this game. Because, you know, that's the thing about a lot of engine building games is it walks a fine line between making it just too easy and I can just do everything that I want, which is not necessarily fun, but then also making it too restricted that it slows down that engine to a crawl and it feels like the game is 3/4 over before I really got my engine going. I don't like that either. And so I feel like these seeds help with that. Oh gosh, I just threw it on the ground. But I think the seeds help a lot with that because, you know, like I said, I can spend that for some resources, and I like to do that maybe in the first third of the game to get my engine going maybe before some of the other players really have gotten their engines going, and I can find something that works for me, and then the hope is that I get that seed back at some point because I've got an abundance of resources and I can do that, or you know, just something along those lines, and maybe I spend that seed again to really get another boost and just make my engine, you know, be super productive. But I love that I can do that with this expansion. That's why I think this is one that you guys are probably going to want to seek out if you like Earth. I think this is a really good expansion. Adds a lot to it. And the extra 11 points, the increase of 4 points for completing your grid does add some tension to wanting to be that person to finish your grid first. So it adds some tension there towards the end game as well. Anyhow, lots to like about this new expansion. I think it's something that you guys are going to really want to check out. It's Abundance from InsideUp Games. It's running on crowdfunding, so you'll want to make sure to check out that link down below in the description of this video now that you've watched it. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of all of our great new content. I'm Lance, and this is Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.